Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to the always informative, always entertaining, the Boxing Authorities. Joining me at the desk, as always, Mr. Luther Dupree Jr., Mr. Smoking Jim Frazier, and my name is Claudio Ralsano. A fight that Luther would not quit talking about. Is it going to happen? I hope it happens.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get it. Is it going to happen? What's going on? Well, now Mr. Dupree is happy. Fury Chisora 3 is going to happen. Luther, go ahead, brother. It's all yours.
Absolute joke. Tyson Fury. This is great. This is great. This is just like him. You beat Wilder twice, and you come back for Derek Chisora. He's a guy that he knocked out twice. Chisora got 13 losses, and nobody. People like Jim, these fanboys support this. No, this is terrible for boxing. I'm losing my voice because I'm so upset about it. He's a cherry picker. All these guys, not a Dubois, not Joe Joyce. He gets a guy not even ranked in the top 30. I don't have anything to say.
He's
Fury,
not top 30?
He might be top 30, but I'm
still.
just saying, it's Tyson Fury.
Yeah,
They're
right,
saying
right,
you're
right.
the greatest heavyweight. If you're like Jim, you're saying he's the greatest heavyweight ever, and this is the guy you pick. He go from retirement to AJ to Usyk to Chisora. Forget Tyson Fury. Overrated, cheat, crackhead. I despise that man.
Smoking?
I love it.
Of course
We knew
you
that
would,
was coming.
because you're a fanboy.
This is the best
smoke
thing.
out. Smoking
This
Jim,
is-
smoking Fury.
This is the best thing for boxing. Number one, I don't think
Best thing
that
for boxing. Get outta
Deontay
here.
Wilder, Tyson Fury.
We're not talking about Wilder. Can you
I
stay on
finish?
topic?
Can I
No,
finish?
no, because I'm pissed
I'm
off.
trying to
today.
make a point here. I don't think that you could have a Deontay Wilder,
Oh my gosh!
Tyson Fury 4 in December because Deontay just fought. So he needs time to prepare, so he's not available.
mean 4?
Usyk is not available.
Usyk?
That's the word, available.
Usyk is not available right now. He couldn't get the AJ fight, so he's fighting a
Joe
guy.
Joyce said he would take
He's fighting a guy who's available. Nobody wants to see Joe Joyce. He ain't earned it right. I love to fight.
Why?
The fans over there. Number one, it's 50,000 seats were sold in day one when it went up.
They were.
Pocket watch it again.
The buzz all over the world.
There's no
outside
buzz
of
for that
your
fight.
household.
There's no buzz about this fight.
50,000 tickets sold. Name me the last time
Jim,
Deontay Wilder fought in front of
listen,
50,000
first of all, you
people.
can't even go by
Can
that
Deontay
because it's
Wilder
been
ever fight
proven that Eddie Hearn and those guys buy tickets and then resell it. So you can't even go by that.
Because Wilder
Jim,
fight the next month like Sugar Ray Robinson did. Is he available?
He
to
should
fight?
have. He only
How
fought
is this
one
a good-
quick round.
Yeah,
He
you're
Am I
and
right?
he only threw 3 punches.
Right.
How is this a good fight for boxing?
It's great.
How?
50,000
Why? Who
50,000
called
buys in
for this
one
fight,
day.
Jim? Who
50
called for this fight? Nobody.
50,000 people did.
Nobody
take off
called for
this.
it. Nobody called for
I'm
that
calling
daggone
for it.
fight.
Well, you know what?
Chisora could fight you, Jim, and it would sell out.
To
the
your
UK
point-
Well,
love
that's
their
good.
boxing.
Well, that's good. That must
He
be
probably
a
get
buzz.
50,000 with
that
you.
must be a buzz.
But wait a minute now. A couple of things that you always.
Yes.
Number one, you always use the keyword what? Available. So you're right there. But
There's
one thing
plenty of
though is to say
heavyweights
something that you always
available.
say.
Stop that.
you always say is. There's a bigger world than here in the States. Well, there's a bigger world than the UK. Now, again, to Luther's point, they will fight any. They will go to any fight over there. But, and I'm going back and forth in a sense. What's good for boxing was not this fight. In all honesty, nobody wanted to see Chisora Fury 1, Luther,
Or 2,
let alone
or
2
3.
or 3. Okay, now. I understand, and you and I talk about moving fighters, and we're on the same page, and he's not.
Marinating fights. That's what you guys
Well,
like to
no,
do.
there's a process. Okay, there's a process. When you're starting up, you fight some guys to get on your record. Then you fight a guy who's on his way down. You beat him, and now you're there, like Marciano Lewis, so on and so forth. You climb the ladder. Then you fight the dog. You win the championship. But Fury right now is beyond that, in my opinion. Now you can say Muhammad fought Evangelista.
He did.
But Muhammad fought some wars, so he deserved. You use that word "deserved" all the time.
From 74 to 78.
Jerry Corey.
An old Ali fought Larry Holmes. So what
Yeah,
are
that
you
was-
talking
yeah,
about?
that was-
That's
No, he
what I'm
wasn't
saying.
champ.
But I'm talking about in his prime. When you fight Jerry Corey, yeah, you're going to beat him. but you're going to feel it. When you fought a Bugner and Wepner, you're going to beat them, but you're going to feel it. So Muhammad deserved,
From
he
74,
earned it.
when he became champ in
Jim,
74
we're not
to
gonna slam
78,
We're gonna break
he
that
held
down.
the title for
No,
4
we're not
years
gonna-
and
we're
didn't
gonna
fight
break that
We're not
down.
going to slam
He
the
held the
champ.
title for 4
No,
years and didn't
but
fight
he
nobody.
deserved to do whatever he did.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Muhammad's a different
Cherry
ballgame.
pick.
But what I'm saying about Fury, and he's up there, there's a video of him saying there's only 2 heavyweights. And this is my next question. So obviously you and I agree that it's a bad fight. But in a sense, and please forgive me, I'm not trying to ride the fence here. Financially, it's a hell of a decision. He's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now,
Anybody he fought, he would have made a lot of money. Claudio,
But less
that's
risk.
not an excuse.
But less risk.
This is boxing.
Less
we want
risk.
the best to fight the best.
We do,
And
the fans. You're
look
right.
at his resume.
Right,
He
right,
has
that's what I'm getting
nobody
to.
on his resume.
Does he
and
have-
you got this guy on here 3
you're right.
times.
You're right.
3 of his 12
You're right.
losses is from
You're right.
Fury.
Does
This
he
is-
have
this
the
is
right
terrible.
right now? And I'm curious for your answer and yours too, Luther. I don't think he does, but he said on a video, go on YouTube, he said there's only 2 guys in the heavyweight division. Rocky Marciano and me, heavyweight. Does he hurt his legacy? Can he be in the same sentence as
First
Rocky
of all, that's a
Marciano?
lie. He's nowhere near. I can name 8 heavyweights better than Fury.
But he's talking about undefeated. Would you put him in that sentence?
No, he's not in that sense. No, Fury, listen, this is a man who went into a ring, had to have his gloves rewrapped because they were illegal. This is a man who was suspended for drugs and PED. No, he's not in the same ballpark of the greats. No.
You can't ask Luther about one white man comparing him to another white man. You ain't gonna
He's
get
for the Italians, though. He likes the
eight
Italians.
people better than Fury.
I give Rocky his credit. Yes, he's up there, but don't put Fury up there.
When
He's
you
a
gonna
big
give him? When you gonna give him some
steroid-cheating
credit? When you gonna
bully.
give Rocky
He's
some
a
credit?
big
He said it.
steroid-cheating, cherry-picking bully.
Luther, he said it. He said, me and Rocky, there's only 2 heavyweights. Me and Rocky Marciano. Now, to me,
people like Jim.
Now, if you come to the
nuts
right,
like Jim.
if you come to the
All right,
right
your
with that
turn.
same
Your
question,
turn.
I said before, and I'll say it again:
That's why you
the
wrong.
greatest heavyweight I've ever seen of all time is Tyson Fury.
Why?
And oh my
Put on his record.
goodness.
How many guys on his record?
Everybody-
You become great
everybody
because of
comes
who
up
you
my
fight.
neck.
Not because you're a
Everybody
big
comes up my
bully.
neck.
Not because you use PEDs.
The man is 6'9", 270.
Oh, yeah.
So what? Yeah.
He can
He's a
box,
big-
he can fight, he can
he's a
slip,
big
But,
guy.
he can do it all.
How many times
he
that
did-
man
he
go
can
to
still
sleep?
let me ask you guys this.
And he's
Let me
also
ask
a
you
guy
this.
that got dropped
Right.
4
Let me ask
times
you
by
this,
a guy
though. When he's
210
fought-
pounds.
And,
when he
and-
fought
and
somebody-
Henry Cooper dropped Muhammad Ali, and Henry Cooper's about
Luther,
$180.
Luther, let me ask you this. When you fight, when Fury fought a guy who was good, like Wilder, who else gave him problems? Otto Wallin gave him
Otto
problems.
Wallin and Cunningham. Steve
Cunningham,
Cunningham from here. He's the first one who dropped it with an overhand
Right,
right.
right. My point is, now, again, I know you said crowbar with Rocky. He fought Hall of Famer Archie Moore. I don't care how old he was.
There's
Rocky
no
fought,
comparison between
Okay.
Rocky and what he did and Fury,
Right.
his resume. That
And
Fury's
I know
resume
you
is
are
full
too.
of C-level.
Let me ask you this: I know you're a college football expert, as are you. When Alabama, if they would beat again, I've used this before, Appalachian State, 90-0. Does it matter to you?
We talking
No.
professional. Every NFL team
But you
can beat
understand what I'm saying,
I
Luther?
understand.
Every
Jim-
NFL team can beat another NFL team on any given Sunday.
Oh,
As
if they land a
Carolina
big punch.
and Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
We
but
see
Tampa
that
Bay's
you're-
on the way
you're
down.
amateurs. You guys
he
are
asked
talking
for Alabama
Alabama.
and
They're
Alabama.
amateurs. How about the NFL? Can any NFL team beat another NFL team on any given Sunday? Yes.
He
That'll
gave
be
you
a yes.
He
You understand
gave you
my-
a college.
No, the college
analogy.
don't-
I'm
nothing to
I'm
do with
talking
pros.
about in history.
No, college ain't got nothing to do with
are you
professional.
okay? You look at again. We talk about Floyd Mayweather. Look at all the guys he fought and the different styles. You cannot criticize that
Was he
man.
heavyweight?
Well, I'm using him as
Okay,
an
undercard.
no. Hey,
You
look
can't
at
put him
Floyd
in there.
Mayweather. You understand what I'm
I
saying?
understand.
Part two.
You can't put Fury in there because of the weakness
Who'd
of his
you beat?
resume. He beat 2 guys, an older Klitschko and an older Wilder.
Thank you.
Well,
And
but
it was
Wilder's
help.
still
Two
big
Hall of
time.
Famers.
Though. Wilder's
Two
big
Hall of
time.
Famers,
Muhammad
you're right.
Ali only
But-
fought
I- and I get with it.
If
I
he only
get-
fought- no, he fought-
Ali only
No,
fought
no,
no, he
no,
fought
no,
way
no.
more than 4.
You name me. He
And he
fought
fought
all the
multiple
Hall of Fame.
times.
Joe
Jim.
Frazier multiple times, Ken Norton multiple times. Forget about Holmes.
George Foreman.
and he beat him.
That's
Okay.
three.
Larry Holmes, he was an older version of himself.
That's his 4.
That was the
That's
greatest
4.
era.
Again,
And
4
other guys.
Hall of
How many
Famers.
has Fury fought?
Ken
How many has
Norton,
Fury
he fought
fought?
two.
One.
Ken
He
Or
fought
two.
two. He fought two.
Klitschko and Wilder.
He fought two so far.
But okay, back to what I'm saying about Floyd.
And
You
only
cannot.
one's in the Hall of Fame right now.
You can't say anything.
Wilder will be.
You can't say anything. And you get what I'm saying. You look at Floyd Mayweather's resume. And what are you going to say?
No question. It's
Damn.
Hall of Fame.
You
25
tell me.
world champions.
You tell me. Just like I
And
agree.
Canelo fought 19 world champions. So what do you
But
say?
yeah, but there's champ. Like we said. Hey, before the show.
Here
Before
comes
the
the
show,
red
he
hand
fought those belt holders. He fought the belt holders. You
And the-
always crowbar Canelo in. We're not
Right.
even
No.
talking
Because
about
we're
Canelo.
talking.
And we were
I like to
talking-
talk apples and apples.
We were talking before the show. There's quarterbacks in the NFL, like Brady
Brady's.
and guys like that,
Then
or
there's
even
Kenny
and
Pickett.
then there's and there's quarterbacks. Luther says there's champions and what?
Belt
holders. Canelo fought belt holders. Okay, for the most part. I'm saying when you went up against. Just look at his resume. It's right there. It's pretty simple. Now, I did say, and I'm not being riding the fence. I said Fury and Wilder, they separated themselves
wrong.
from the rest of the division.
You were wrong.
Okay, and they have. But I don't think this is. If Fury's worried about if he worries about his pocketbook, this is a smart move.
Well, let me ask you this:
But for legacy?
if they separated themselves, if Fury separated himself from everybody, what's the difference? Who he fight? He
No,
didn't separate.
he said it. Okay, here's
He
who he should have fought.
separated himself.
Wait a minute.
He's cherry picking.
He should have
This
fought
is a
Joe
guy
Joyce. Would have
with 12
sold out.
losses.
Sold out that place.
Joe
Anybody-
Joyce don't deserve it.
Oh,
but
wait,
Chisora
Chisora
does. Chisora deserves
He
it.
won his
Chisora
last-
deserves it.
Yeah, yeah.
You keep
How?
making just take another
How
round.
many-
How does Chisora deserve it?
How many
does he
times
deserve
did
it?
Lennox Lewis
How
fight
does
Evander
Chisora deserve it?
Holyfield?
But that was
Three
after the
times.
first one.
Three
No,
times.
Jim,
But
he
that
just
was-
proved us wrong. Why
right.
does Chisora deserve it? Why?
Who did he fight?
You can't.
Who did
You
he
can't
fight?
do
He
it.
won his
You
last
can't
three
do it.
fights.
Against
No,
who?
He won his last three.
Against
No, he
who?
did not
He
win his
fought that
last
Russian.
three.
He knocked out that Russian. What's his name?
An
Austrian.
old Povetkin?
Yeah.
No, Povetkin,
everybody's
no, he
old.
was
He's
done.
old.
But he got clocked by Povetkin before
But
Exactly.
he come back and knock
that. Okay,
him
terrific.
out.
But you used the word availability. I agree with you.
Thank you.
There's a lot of
Deserved.
available
I
heavyweights.
love
And
the
you
word.
used the word he separated himself from everybody
Right,
else.
and he did.
So who cares who he fights?
Yeah, here's who he should have fought.
It's gonna
No,
be
this
is
he's,
no.
he
boxing.
separated
You
Here's
want
what he
him to
should
fight
have
the
done.
best.
So
He's
he'll
a top-
pop up
Okay,
anybody.
So he
right?
Luther-
didn't fight anybody in the top 10.
Luther,
Chisora's
just
not
say-
nobody's
Chisora's in the
top
top
10.
10.
Would
And
you
what-
have
and which
earned-
one?
He's in the top 10.
And what?
I
And
got
what?
him. I got him.
No,
I
not
seen
your
him.
fake
I
list,
seen him in
not
the
that
top 10.
trash notebook in a legitimate list.
shouldn't have given
the
it to him.
WBA, the WBC.
Yes,
None
yes,
of those. He's
yes.
not
Let
top
me
10.
ask
He's in the
you-
top
No,
10
he's not.
somewhere.
No,
Let
he's
me
not.
ask you a
With
question.
12 losses?
Yeah.
He's
Well,
not in the top
Holyfield
10.
had the same amount.
But look who Holyfield lost against.
Oh, here we go.
What's the
Here
truth?
we go.
It's the truth.
Here we go.
I'm done with this topic.
Okay, back to cultural. If Alabama loses to Clemson and they lost to Tennessee, are you going to be upset? No. If they lost to Appalachian State, would you be pissed?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Tyson, no offense to Appalachian State. Now, Tyson Fury, if I'd have told you today, Luther, he's fighting Anthony Joshua, what would you say?
Of course, you're
If he
excited
said-
about that fight.
If I said Joe Joyce, what would you
Of
say?
course, I'm
If I said-
excited about
If
that
I said
fight.
Usyk.
Excited about that
If I
fight.
said Dubois,
Excited about that. And Dubois is on the undercard.
he's on the undercard. If I did, who else? Give me another
He
heavyweight.
should be on the undercard.
There's a lot
He's
of guys.
undercard
Big
fighter.
Baby.
He
I'll
was
take.
Big Ba-
Big Baby. I'll take Andy Ruiz.
Oh,
Andy
my
Ruiz.
goodness.
I'll
Luther,
take all those
my
guys.
fault.
Did you take the
Wilder.
African that you gave
Wilder.
up on?
Oh,
I told
yes,
you what.
definitely. I
And
want to see
Ruiz.
Wilder. All those
And
guys.
if he
Wilder
beats
gonna
them
be
all,
out in
these
the month
guys.
He just fought.
But he
Availability.
could have fought.
Availability.
He could have. But I'm saying, Joe Joyce available.
He don't deserve
He
it.
wants no part.
Why not? But
Fury
Chisora
wants
does.
no parts
Yes.
of Joe Joyce.
How?
Yes.
Wait, Joe Joyce beat who last time?
Who knows?
No, he beat somebody.
No,
His name. He beat a
Dubois
name.
recently, and then he beat
Who's the name?
Parker, Joseph Parker.
How many
A
fights
name.
he got?
He
How many-
destroyed
he's
Joseph Parker.
how many
He's the
fights
first
he
one.
got?
He doesn't
He's the
deserve
first
it.
one
He
ever
didn't
knock him out.
destroy him. He knocked
He
him
knocked
out.
him out.
Destroyed him.
That was
Wait a
a
minute.
close fight.
Wait a
No,
minute.
it was
Who
not
deserves
close.
this
He
fight more? In all
destroyed him.
honesty, let's be honest. We're not talking about business aspect. We're talking about actual deserve. The word you
Right,
use.
right.
Who deserves that fight next? Chisora, who fought him twice already.
And it
You
wasn't
got
close.
your shot
It
twice.
wasn't even
You didn't
close.
come close to me. You don't deserve much. Or Joe Joyce.
Joe Joyce don't deserve it.
Why does Chisora deserve it?
How many fights Joe Joyce got?
He's
But
the
he's
WBC
hot.
man.
He's hot. How
many
He's the
fights he
number
got?
one.
Is he
He's
not
the
hot?
mandatory.
Is he
He's
hot?
a mandatory.
How
He's
many
ranked
fights
number
does
one.
he? Will
It
you
doesn't
answer
matter.
my question? How many fights has he got?
He's 15
He
and 0,
got
I
less
believe.
losses than
15 and
Chisora.
0, and you want to give him a shot? He don't deserve
Chisora
to
got
keep
more.
fighting.
Chisora got more losses than he has.
Who's on the way up?
Has
Who's
Joe,
on the-
has Joe Joyce signed to fight again? Listen, Joe Lewis
He's
fought
trying to get
23
a-
times in his first year. Listen,
Jim,
let me ask you
Take
this.
your
Let me
L
ask you
as you
this.
usually do on
Joe
the show.
Lewis did something smart, okay? Because they wasn't giving black
going back
fighters a
50
shot.
years.
Joe Lewis broke records because he fought guys in their own hometown,
Jim,
which
you're
made
wrong.
him popular
Take your L,
in
Jim.
that deal. They
But
sold
let me
out
ask you
arenas.
this. Let me ask you this. This is an honest question. Who's on the way up and who's on the way down? Is Chisora on the way up or
Chisora
down?
already retired, man.
Did
This is
Joe
retirement
Louis fight
checks.
23 times in
That
one
doesn't
year
matter.
like Joe Louis?
Who's on the way?
about?
Joe
Joe
Louis ain't
Louis
got nothing
earned
to do with it.
He earned it.
Wait.
You got to earn. You got to win. Tyson fought 13 times in one year.
He has
Who's
no,
on the way up? Who's on the way down?
Of course, Chisora's been down. I thought he was retired. He needs
I
to
think
retire.
it's a
This
smart
retirement
fight for
check-
Fury. It's a simple. He's
It's
going to make a
easy.
zillion
Thank
fights.
you.
It's
Thank
easy.
you.
Well,
Thank
but
you.
it's not good for boxing, though.
It's great for
But it's not good for his
and
legacy.
That's a cherry pick.
It is.
That's a
It is
cherry
a
pick.
cherry
Jim
pick.
likes cherry picks.
Like that
his
same
favorite
cherry
guys.
pick Deontay Wilder just knocked out.
He was
Well,
he
yeah,
the number one WBA. He was the WBA number
He
one.
was-
And he's
Look.
been knocking him out since he was a sparring partner.
Well,
He
no,
knew
no.
what was
He
going
knew
on.
it was coming. That was not a good fight. He
Can we
should not
move
be
to a
ranked
real
number one.
topic?
He should
Can
not
we
be number
move
one.
to a real topic?
But it was smart for Wilder after a year layoff to knock him out.
Yeah.
It was smart.
Yeah.
But
Wrap this
but
up. This is
but
Jim,
Helenius
you're
was
wrong.
not going to be a threat,
Thank
and
you.
he knew it.
Thank you.
But Fury
Nobody's going to be a
is
threat.
the champion. Wilder's not the champ. He can fight whoever the hell he wants. Fury's the champ. You look at a champion different. He should have fought.
Who's ranked higher, Helenius or Chisora?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what are you
Helenius
talking
barely won
about?
his fight. The Chinese guy almost beat Helenius.
What are you
He should've
talking
beat him.
about? What Chinese guy?
Zhang.
No, I'm talking about.
What are you
I'm
talking about?
I
You're
get
all
those
over the
H's
place,
mixed
Jim.
up.
Who
am
were
I
you
thinking
smoking
about?
before the show, Jim?
Zhang, who did Zhang fight? That's what
He
I
fought
thought.
Harkovich. He
Harkovich,
fought
yeah,
Harkovich.
that's who I thought you
Jim,
were
you're all
talking
over the
about.
place.
That's who I thought
When
you
you
were
start
talking about.
taking L's, you start just throwing anything
All right, now let me
out.
ask you this: if Jersey Joe fought Joe Louis in Maine, Lewiston, Maine,
He goes back 50
Who would've
years
won?
when he takes his L's, man.
I
I'm
think
done.
this-
I'm done with Fury. This
I
is
think this
horrible.
hurts his
is
legacy a
terrible
little
for
bit.
sport.
And if he gets knocked out, it really hurts his
He
legacy.
has no chance of getting knocked out by
No,
Chisora.
no, but I just don't think it's
No
a good fight.
chance.
It's not good for boxing that he's fighting Chisora.
This
Over
is-
there, it's good.
This
But ain't
is-
gonna. It's no
this
buzz.
is- This is
ain't no
why
buzz.
The
Buzz
heavyweight
everywhere.
division.
Where?
Outside of the
Chisora
United
never
States.
had buzz.
Nobody's
United
talking about
States is
this
here,
fight.
The rest of the world.
Nobody gives a damn
Nobody's
about
talking
Chisora.
about this fight.
Everybody, everywhere I go.
All right, this is part of the
Liar.
boxing news. I forgot to head it up. Okay, the other boxing news is a fight that isn't happening yet. Okay, Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is going to fight a guy named, he's a 34-year-old David AVANESYAN. Who the hell is he? I mean, all respect to him, but
He got
this
beat-
isn't the fight that we wanted.
This is a disgrace. This is a disgrace. And change your name, Crawford. Terrence Duckford. That's what this is. You know, number one clown for clown, Duck Crawford. This is embarrassing for the sport.
Yeah.
This is two guys negotiating. We think it's going to happen. I was wrong. I said November
Yes, you
19th.
was.
And then Bud says, oh, I'm not going to fight him, and then runs across. Does he fight his number one in Ortiz? No. Does he fight Boots Enos? No. Does he fight Keith Thurman? No.
Oh, you've
He
been
goes
happier
to
with
fight
Keith,
this
and
guy.
we didn't want that
I
fight,
would've-
but you've
listen,
been much happier.
Exactly. So this proves all this time who was holding up the fight? Bud Duckford. You know, we always said, when is this fight going to happen? He doesn't want it with Errol Spence. I could see if he fought somebody else. You take a tune-up. A tune-up, as Errol Spence always tells us, for somebody who's not sure of themselves. He knew
Right.
after he saw Ugas's face, he
You digging
didn't want
deeper,
that work.
deeper. You digging
So he
deeper,
ran
deeper.
away. Now, where's he fighting? Is it on ESPN? No. He just complained
You'll never
that
get out of
ESPN,
that
can I
hole.
finish my point,
Never
Jim?
get out of that hole.
He just complained that ESPN people couldn't find it. So he goes to an app, a Black Lives Matter app that nobody's heard of, and he's getting $10 million. Get out of here.
You think he'll get all 10?
No, he's going to be just like Roy Jones and Mike Tyson, mad at the app
Triller.
that didn't pay them their money. Just the Triller.
You saying the black people ain't got it?
I'm saying, if you didn't get it from Bob
You
Durham,
can't trust them.
if you didn't get it from Bob Durham, and you're having trouble with Al Heyman and Showtime, now you go to an app that nobody heard of and get $10 million. This is the biggest duck maybe in boxing history. It's two guys coming together. You think
It would
they're
make
close,
zillions.
and then leaves for $10 million.
And guaranteed you'd make money with
He was going to
Spence.
make more with the Spence fight.
Right.
And then it wouldn't have just been one fight, it could have been two or a trilogy. Bud Crawford, you're looking bad out
Good
here.
point. Good point
He
about
has
the
a
trilogy.
C-level resume. This is the type of competition he usually fights. Somebody you never heard of who's no threat. He didn't, okay, if you want to tune up, don't go to a guy not in the top 6, 7 who lost to Mean Machine.
Yeah.
Mean Machine knocked him out.
Fight him.
He already beat Mean Machine.
Fight him
But
again.
Mean Machine
Chisora's
beat
fighting
this guy.
Fury three
This
times.
This is horrible, man. This is terrible for the sport. Bud Crawford, you
It's-
disappointed all your fans and the sport of boxing. Don't ever compare yourself to Floyd, to Spence, to Manny. You're nowhere near this. Look at all these guys. Virgil
That he could've
Ortiz,
fought.
Jerron Bucinas, Keith Thurman. These are all guys ranked in the top 5. Cody Crawley, number 5. Corner Benwell.
Luther,
Corner
you
Ben
ma-
got all kind of things running
But
through
you
him,
make a great point
this is a
about,
disgrace.
there was a lot of names he could have fought, and we weren't crazy about him fighting Dennis Thurman.
Keith Thurman.
Keith Thurman.
Keith Thurman.
I keep Dennis Thurman, the Dallas Cowboy guy. But we wouldn't have been too mad about it. At least he's fighting somebody pretty damn good.
But you
Now
had,
this guy-
you had a whole year to fight a tune-up. Why didn't you fight a tune-up when Ugas
Right.
and Spence were fighting in April? He
And
had
I
a
don't hear
whole
about
year.
availability.
Right.
Like
there were
Jim said.
plenty of guys
Right.
available that would have taken that Bud Crawford
Thurman
fight.
said, I'll fight you.
And you're fighting this
And you'd
guy.
made a nice chunk of change.
And you know what? I still
beating him.
And look, you know what? I still haven't seen Bud Crawford announce it on any social media. Now ESPN put out this crap,
But he didn't.
and now he's saying Spence didn't want it. No, you've proven us all right that you never wanted this fight, Bud Crawford or Bud
Well, you're starting to
Duckford.
get tongue-tied.
You stay tongue-tied, smoked out.
First of all,
You
first
sound
of
smoked
all-
out over there.
First of all,
Smoky.
First of all, Luther's on record as saying you can't trust black promoters.
I never said that. I
He
said I don't know
he's
nothing about
making
that
$10 million, but hey, listen. First of all, Bucinas is still on vacation. Let me say this.
But
The
Chisora isn't.
The
Go
only
ahead.
one sitting
Your
here
watch
that
is
was
on
right.
vacation.
The only one
Where's your
sitting
watch,
here that was right. I said Spence will never fight more than one fight a year. There was no way this fight was going to be made before 2023.
Because
I said
Bud
that.
kept stalling.
Again, tongue-tied.
Smoking crack.
Now, if he'd have fought Thurman, he'd have to wait 6 months. He's fighting a guy with a
talking
good
about?
record.
Why would he have
and
to wait
wanna
6
say
months?
so-
Why would he have to wait
What,
6
Thurman's
months?
gonna come in
Available.
right
What are you
now?
talking
He
about?
said he
Thurman's
was fighting.
gonna come in
Thurman's
right
said a
trying
now.
to
couple
get
months ago.
Thurman's trying to get a fight,
Right.
Jim.
Thurman.
He's available.
He ain't fought but one fight in 2 years.
Then he'd be a great
They done
fight.
cut his ponytail and his contract. Listen, he's getting $10 million. He wants
Maybe.
to stay
Says who?
sharp.
Maybe.
Says
He
who?
wants
Maybe.
to stay sharp. Well, you
Luther,
see-
I don't think he'll make 4 out of it.
well, that's still $3 million than Wilder just made more.
But
I don't know
I
what he
think
made,
it- I
Jim.
think it-
You
it's
know,
a bad
Jim,
look.
you really sound
It's a bad
crazy
look.
talking about a guy making millions.
Were you happy when
That's
Riddick
a
Bowe
bad
didn't
look.
fight Lennox?
Pardon me?
Were you happy?
Oh, I was upset
And
about
that
it.
still sticks with you,
And
right or
you know
wrong?
it still sticks with Bo. He
Yeah.
threw that belt in the garbage.
Right.
He talks about it to this day.
If this fight never
Bo?
happens,
Riddick Bowe,
What does he talk about? He won't even show up to get a donation. They have charity
You understand
for
my
him. What's he
connection.
talking about?
You understand my-
Black Lives Matter Network?
You always take it too far, man. Riddick Bowe,
just
to
saying.
this day, is upset that he
right,
didn't fight
but you understand my
Lennox
connection.
Lewis.
I'm talking about boxing fans still talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
If Crawford Spence never happens, I think they're going to bring.
Who cares?
That's the only.
Look at
Who
Crawford's
cares?
resume. There's no Hall of Famers on that whole resume.
Then don't tell me you're the best.
If Spence was manure, he couldn't draw flies, Lou. Nobody cares about it. This ain't Duran.
He just how did he pack 50,000 in
Because
Dallas
he's fighting in
Stadium?
his backyard in
Doesn't
Dallas.
matter. Well, don't say he
They'll
can't
go-
draw
they'll show up
flies.
anywhere.
Jim, you
There's
make
a
no
little
sense.
Cowboy
You
line
make no
dance.
sense, Jim.
They came to see the cowgirls.
Go back smoking because you're way off. A man put 50,000 in
And
Jerry
his home-
World.
and-
And Jerry World.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. He let
Doesn't
him-
matter,
let him
Jim.
go to
He's
Oklahoma.
packed to Vegas.
He's packed.
He's sold out everywhere he's going, Jim.
And nobody
What are you
cares
talking about
him.
it?
Nobody cares about him. Nobody cares about
Spence,
Spence.
but they would care about this fight. There's a
Is
crescendo
Spence-
building
is
for it.
Spence Sugar Ray Leonard? Is he Roberto Duran?
No,
No,
that's
he's
okay.
not.
You're going
Nobody
legends,
cares.
Jim.
But-
There's
What do you mean nobody cares,
There's
Jim?
nobody.
Jim,
There's nobody.
Jim.
50 years from now going to talk 6 months in Sewickley that we didn't get the Spence Crawford fight. Nobody
Probably
cares
not,
about
but
it.
Listen,
probably
nobody
not.
cares
But
about
for
it.
right
That's
now,
when you're
though.
wrong.
But
That's
for
the
right
biggest
now,
fight. If you go through what
Right.
fight-
Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
but when you go all the polls, Jim, if you could read the internet, it says Spence and Crawford is a fight that most people want, not your fake Smokopedia crap.
President
Jim.
Kennedy
Oh, my
made
gosh.
Floyd
Jim.
Patterson and
Wait a minute.
Sonny
You're
Liston
wrong.
fight.
You're
Is
wrong.
President
You're wrong.
Biden, is President Biden
President
making
Biden.
this fight, mandating this fight?
You're wrong there, though, and I'm going to correct you because you correct me on some mistakes. And go look it up. He didn't want Floyd to fight Sonny Liston. So it isn't that he didn't want Sonny to
Stand
fight
corrected,
Floyd.
Jim.
He wanted Floyd. He didn't want Floyd to fight Sonny. But that's another
Take
story.
another L,
Because you
Jim.
corrected me sometimes.
another
you
L,
were right.
Jim.
You were right. But this fight, in all honesty, Jim, in my opinion, I do think people want another Fury Wilder because it was exciting. They don't want Chisora Fury, but they do want Crawford Spence. And then what Luther said, I think there's another fight after it. I think this.
But Crawford I'm
starting to think that. I didn't want to believe you.
Crawford doesn't want it.
Sugar Ray,
He
when
doesn't want any tough
wanted, like you said,
competition.
okay, he was going to fight Hearns when it was time. He never said no. He wanted to fight Duran 6 months later. He said, I lost the fight. I want him back in the ring. He was a man. He wanted to fight people.
Yeah.
When
I agree with that.
all these guys, Evander, all these big-time fighters, again, when Marciano beat Ezra Charles the first time, there was, he beat him, but he didn't knock him out. He said, I want to fight him again. Roland Starza, there was some question whether after the Vingo fight, Rocky kind of held up. Some people said Starza may have beaten Rocky. What did Rocky want to do? Want to revenge. I want to fight him. But these guys, Crawford has to want this fight.
Nobody's compared.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Nobody's ever compared Spence to Rocky or Sugar Ray Leonard or Sugar Ray Robinson.
But we don't
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Nobody cares about Spence.
You get what I'm saying?
Nobody cares about
If you're a
Spence.
professional and you care about your legacy, you understand what I'm trying to say? I want a good resume.
You got to have
Listen,
a dance
this
partner.
prove-
Spence never wanted to fight Crawford.
Jim,
I said that from
Did
the-
Floyd duck anybody?
Huh?
Did Floyd ever duck anybody?
Well, he fought you when you was half dead.
No, he didn't. No, he
Floyd
didn't.
fought
Canelo,
everybody.
he
Listen,
fought
you
Canelo
can't
in
ask
his
Jim
prime.
that, man. We
And
know what
Canelo
Jim was
beat
doing
him,
before
too.
the show.
No, he did not.
I'm
Floyd.
saying De La Hoya. De La Hoya.
Okay,
beat
did
him.
De La Hoya duck anybody?
No, those guys fought everybody. Listen, Spence has fought everybody. Bud has fought nobody. Look at the resume.
But
Did he fight Danny Garcia? No. Keith Thurman? No. Earl Spence? No. Only one he did fight was Sean Porter, a retirement fight. That's it. None of the top welterweights did
Then
fight.
don't go out saying you're the best of all time, that you're this or
Exactly.
that. You got to back it up.
Listen,
Sugar Ray can say I'm
gotta
the
have
greatest
a
of all
dance.
time.
Are you happy?
Floyd.
Are you happy with this?
Yes.
Why?
I'm
Why are you
excited.
happy? Why?
Because this is
You're
a guy.
excited. Why?
This is a guy that loves to fight. And
Loves
you got
to fight. He
another
fights
guy
one time
that'll
a year.
fight-
He
Spence
fights one time a year because he had accidents. He had a car
Oh,
accident. He
my
had eye
goodness.
surgery.
Oh, my goodness.
Why is Bud only fighting one time a year? Why would
He's
you say
fighting
you
now.
need a
He's fighting
tune-up?
right now. He's fighting right
And
now.
Luther,
Supposedly
you and
he's
I
fighting
both
December 10th.
blamed who? We blamed Aram. And what did we say right here? Okay, now that you cut ties, now it's all you. And he still hasn't done it.
he's
Who has
dead.
he fought since he left Aram?
He's fought nobody. This is his first
He-
fight.
And Aram,
He was
Aram's-
waiting on Spence, who dragged
they're
his
all
feet.
available. You use that word, available.
Spence wasn't available
Is the-
at 70.
How about now?
He's not available at 70 to 30.
Jim hates Spence.
Was it 70-30
Any man who
for
would
real?
make fun of a man in a car accident hates that
Well,
man.
he tried to
No.
commit suicide.
Okay, see, that's
I mean,
what
it
I'm
ain't
saying.
my fault.
That's funny, Jim. All right, Jim.
Was it a
Listen,
7-30?
This is a
Did you hear
disgusting
70-30?
act. No.
I heard somewhere else a 70-30. We didn't like that.
That's how you lost that watch, Jim. We're not talking about that, Jim.
Right.
I think this is a disgrace for Bud Crawford. He looks bad all over in boxing.
does. He
There's
does.
other boxers talking about how much of a duck he is. There's other
That's
promoters.
when it gets bad.
We're on
That's
the
when
Black
you
Lives
know
Network.
you're scared.
Where?
This
Where?
man
Where?
ran away from
Where?
negotiation.
I've never seen
Jim,
somebody.
we're at a negotiation table. We're supposed to go one-on-one, and then all of a sudden, you got another fight? So he wasn't negotiating in good faith. He didn't want this fight.
Spence
he had
barely
this fight.
graduated high school. What numbers he putting up? Who's he
talking about,
negotiating?
Jim?
One-on-one?
What are you talking
He
about,
don't
Jim?
know numbers.
What are you
He
talking
don't know
about?
numbers.
You're at the
Come on.
table,
Now all of a
and all of a
sudden-
sudden you got a table. If me and Claudio, because he has no sense of no knowledge about negotiations, he just saying stuff. If we're negotiating, we think we're coming to a deal, and then all of a sudden you come with another side deal. What are you going to think?
I know.
What are you going to
No, you're
think?
right.
He didn't want to fight
didn't want it
Jim,
to begin with.
and he proved it.
And that's I'm going to
And
make
that's
you an
what Errol
offer
said.
that you can refuse. It's going to be one of the old Italian. They'll make an offer you
All
can't
of a
refuse.
sudden.
But he's going to make him an
And
offer that he
said,
knew.
never said anything about he wanted a tune-up. There's plenty
Right.
of tune-ups he could have
And
fought
they
on
want
PBC.
transparency.
Yeah,
and I want this. There's always a
transparency.
No, he
damn
wanted
issue.
to fight Spence, but Spence
Hey,
ain't wanted.
one
so
thing I
he's
would say is
fighting.
this.
He's
I'm
a
just
duck.
saying we're all humans. Maybe, just maybe, Bud's saying himself,
Bud doesn't have faith.
I don't think I can beat him.
Bud knows he can't
Yeah,
beat
yeah,
him.
beat him.
Bud knows
Mike,
he can't beat him.
hey, Michael Spinks, It was the heavyweight champ of the world. That's one of the baddest men on the planet. He went in to that Tyson fight like I've never.
You comparing Spence to
No,
Tyson?
I'm comparing the
You
moment.
sound crazy as Luke.
No, wait a minute. I'm saying
Jim.
this.
You
When
gonna get invited to
Peter
Luke's family
McNeely-
reunion? You talking that crazy?
Well,
Peter
we know you'll never get an invite 'cause you don't come anyway.
was nowhere near the boxer that Michael Spinks was. Not even night and day. But Peter McNeely, Francois Botha, they tried against Mike Tyson. Lou Savarese is not. He tried against
They
Tyson.
ain't have another option.
Yeah, they didn't
It's
have to
like
fight him.
Muhammad Ali
Okay,
fought-
but Michael
Muhammad
Spinks.
Ali fought Jerry
My
Corbin
point
for
is,
that
my
was
point
Can he
is,
finish his
you
point,
understand my
Jim?
point. He went in there with no confidence.
Right.
He went in
He
there.
went in there scared.
He went in there and he got the hell out.
I
Now,
thought I saw a
maybe
wet spot underneath his stool.
Crawford don't need Spence. He ain't going to
Who's
take
he
a
gonna
chump
fight?
salary.
Who's he gonna-
He can fight anybody. He's
See?
Okay, but
dangerous.
legacy-wise-
This is why you're a
He's going to the Hall
fanboy.
of
This is
Fame.
why you're a
Legacy-wise.
fanboy. Exactly.
Legacy-wise.
His legacy,
Who's on your record?
He has nobody on his record. He
Well,
got
then don't
Sean
say
Porter,
anything.
that's it.
That's my
all
whole
he has.
point, Jim. My whole
Listen,
point is this.
I knew it was in trouble when Terrence Crawford started talking.
You
I'm
called it.
already a Hall of Famer.
called
I don't
it.
need him
Yeah.
on my resume.
And he's
That's
right.
a death
No,
move.
That's what I'm
No.
saying
That's-
too.
No
I'm saying that
all-time
too.
great
He ain't gonna
says
take
that.
a chump shield.
No
He ain't
all-time
gonna
great
take a
says-
chump
What-
shield.
Did you ever hear Ali say that? I'm a
Pardon
Hall
me?
of Famer. I don't need Ali. I
Yeah,
don't
he
need
said
Frazier
that
on
all the time, from
no,
74
did he say
to
I don't need?
78.
He didn't say I don't need this guy on my
From
record.
74
He
to
never said
78.
that.
He
He never
said
said
that all
So
the
my
time.
point
He never said
with Spinks, I'm not accusing Crawford. I don't know. I don't know the man.
We know how it
but
looks.
he's kind of showing. He's showing it.
He's showing he didn't want to fight. If
He's
you're
showing he wanted to
negotiating
fight.
with a guy and
Show
you
me
go
the
fight
numbers.
another guy,
Maybe
Show me
he's
the
lacking
numbers.
confidence. Is all
Show
I'm
me the
saying.
numbers.
who
This
is he
my
fighting?
opinion.
Is he fighting a top guy?
Give
Is
him
this a
50,
top guy?
give him
Is he a
50,
top?
50,
He
and
doesn't.
he would've
why
took
do-
it.
Listen,
Now you
there
said
you
he
go.
don't deserve it.
There you go. No,
Now you said
you're
he
worried
don't
about
deserve
pocket.
it.
You're a pocket watching
Yes,
fool over
yes,
there.
I'm a
I'm
How many
business
not.
belts
man.
does Spence have?
I'm not.
Me and
How many-
Claudio
three.
are
How many?
businessmen.
How many? Right. Okay. How many? Excuse me. How many does Crawford have?
One.
Who's the bigger draw?
Spence.
Where?
Pay-per-view numbers.
All you have to
Pay-per-view
do.
numbers.
Where?
We know
Okay,
you-
we
know
talk about
you
Ryan
only have a,
Garcia.
California
He's going to be
education.
hard to deal with when he's fighting. God.
What Aram said he was hard to deal with.
But no, but I'm
Porter.
saying, who's the fight that we were talking about? Garcia maybe fighting. Not
Tank.
saying ain't gonna happen. Tank.
Tank.
Garcia can at least say, "This is how many
He's
social
bringing
media."
something to
He
the
brings something to the
table.
table. Crawford.
He brings a name. He brings a name.
Right, okay.
Everybody wants to see Brett
Right.
Crawford.
Well, why,
Knock
why,
out
No,
Spence.
that's what I'm trying to say. Who?
Spence don't want to
Jim,
see it.
that's where you're wrong. What are his
Spence don't
pay-per?
want to see it.
What are your pay-per-view
Did
numbers
Crawford
at?
get big numbers on ESPN?
No, his pay-per-view
On
numbers
ESPN.
on ESPN. He did not. His pay-per-view numbers.
What
were
I'm saying,
terrible, Jim.
maybe just
Numbers.
maybe,
Numbers.
maybe just maybe, the mental mind, the human mind is. There's fighters out there, boxers, NFL players, baseball. You know, sometimes even me.
He
sometimes,
looks bad out here.
You worry.
He looks like he's.
I never
ducking
lack
the fight.
confidence. Now I'm not saying that, but
Claudio, they only offered him 30%.
You don't know
number
what
one.
they offered,
Number
Jim.
two,
Listen,
they offered him
Jim,
nothing.
where's
He
your
wanted
proof?
to fight
Where's
for
your
the
proof?
pay-per-view.
My
Where's your
angle
proof?
is this.
Where's you see the
Proof that it
contract?
didn't happen.
my angle
The
is
proof
this.
is he left the negotiation
Right.
table
Because
without
maybe
fighting.
just
So you don't know what he
maybe.
has. Show me the
Max
contract.
Kellerman
You don't have
said-
it. Yeah.
Maybe just maybe,
don't have it,
Luther,
just make
and I
up
think
stuff.
I think you may agree. with
I
me.
told you
maybe
he was
just
scared.
maybe there might be some confidence issues.
Me
I
and-
don't know.
Me and Max Kellerman
That's
are
why
in
I don't like
agreement
Max.
here.
But that's what Spinks, a professional fighter who was a world champion. He wasn't like that against Larry Holmes.
Listen, I'll go by
Maybe
what
there was some lack of confidence. Am I right?
I'm not going by what Smokey Jim says. I'm going by what other boxers are saying. They're saying
but we're-
it
they-
looks like
we
he's
got-
But
done
you
it.
understand
we
my
got
I'm
video
analogy.
of
going
it?
by promoters.
video
I'm
of it?
going by what
Well,
Eddie Hearn
there
just
is
said.
video when Michael Spinks fought Larry Holmes. Was he worried? No. And Holmes is a Hall of Famer. But when he went against Tyson,
Tyson,
he's
Eddie-
worried.
Eddie
Now,
Hearn
you
is a
understand what I'm trying to
boxer.
I
say?
know exactly what you're
Okay,
saying.
maybe
I don't
just
know what
maybe,
Jim's saying, the
maybe
whole
just
show.
maybe Crawford. Oh man, maybe he's a little bit too much. Let me blame
Maybe Spence is saying the
Spence's
same thing.
people.
Yeah, and
Maybe
now he's
Spence
blaming
is saying
Spence.
the
Oh,
same thing.
he didn't want to fight as much as me.
I
How?
know
When
Spence
you walk
don't
away.
want it.
How do you know?
Spence don't
How do you
where,
know?
where did you see that there was a 7:30 split?
That's what it was.
I know.
How do you know?
That's
How you
Name me
where
a
did I-
boxer that's talking about him other than Herndon. That
What
ain't
are
a
you
boxer.
talking about?
Yeah.
You just making up stuff. You're fake
I'm
sources.
a journalist.
Yeah. A comic
It's a
book
fight
journalist.
that should take
Fake
place,
news.
but they're hurting boxing by not having it.
Nobody
Well,
cares about
real quick,
Everybody
final thing
cares
on the
about that
Boxing
fight.
Authority
Ain't
news.
Are you getting that pay-per-view?
Oh.
That Bud Crawford against this
Yeah,
David
yeah, I would get it.
Avanesyan?
I would get it.
You ain't paid for a pay-per-view ever.
All right. There's talk that the WBC will order the heavyweight eliminator between Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz. Now, this fight I'm interested in as well, even though I think, in my opinion, before we ask your opinions, I think Deontay Wilder knocks him out. And he may have a little problem with him. Andy Ruiz may win some rounds. He may win some rounds if he comes in shape, but I think Deontay catches him. Ortiz won some rounds. Deontay caught him. Fury won some rounds, the first fight, and Deontay caught him. When you have that eraser, when you have that hammer, you can lose every damn round and catch him. And Deontay can catch him. One thing they don't say about Deontay Wilder, in my opinion, he's relatively accurate. He's more accurate. Sometimes, yeah, he'll go a little bit, but he's
he stopped that.
He did it against Lanius. It was a nice punch. Your thoughts on Ruiz, Wilder, if it happens?
You know how I feel about Wilder. He's one of the most disrespected heavyweights in history. Smoking Jim is one of the main guys who disrespects him. I think Wilder smokes him in about 4 rounds. No. He's too fast. He's too long. That right hand, Andy Ruiz, he's easy to hit.
And Wilder looked better technically.
Well, yeah,
than
I told
Wilder
you, Malik Scott has him working on a lot of different things. He's moving. He's
I like his
same
footwork.
guy. Well, this is old, but this is Spluka.
But his footwork, he's an athlete.
Right.
I just wish he would use it more.
He's using it more now with Malik Scott. You saw him bounce it around.
This
you saw
wasn't
his
with
guard
Malik
up.
Scott. This wasn't with
No,
Malik
this is
Scott.
just his
But he's
highlights.
better.
He's only
He's
had
better,
2 fights with Malik Scott, and he looked great in
He
both
only
of
has
them.
one
Okay,
win with
Jim,
Malik Scott.
Jim. He looked great. I think he's going to do well. I think this is all wrong for Andy Ruiz. The speed factor is with Wilder, the length, the height. He's going to have problems. And we saw Chris Areola drop
That's what I'm
Ruiz
saying.
numerous times.
That's what I'm saying.
And we saw what Wilder did to Areola
Right.
when they fought. So I think it's going to be a relatively easy fight for Wilder. He's just that good.
I think Ruiz might win a few rounds early, and then
going
Deontay
to
catches
sleep
him.
early.
But I'd like to see it.
He's going to
It's a
sleep
nice
early.
fight.
When I saw an average AJ drop Ruiz,
Yeah.
You're not getting back up when you get dropped by Wilder.
And I think the Ruiz camp, again, speculation, is saying Wilder, AJ, pretty much the same thing, and it's not. Different ballgame. Am I right?
Much different. Much harder hitter, a much better athlete, and a guy who has heart.
Who wants it? Exactly.
So if Wilder does go down,
He ain't
he's not going to go crawling and quit and then look around. He's going to
Raise
get
your
up
hand.
and try to take your head off.
Right. Smoking?
Here's the hater.
How did Castro Ortiz do against him? And he hit harder than everybody. And
He's
Andy
60
beat him.
years old,
This
Jim.
guy, but he can hit. This guy, Andy Ruiz, knows how to fight. You guys don't like Mexicans. This guy can fight.
Everybody
he got
says
fast
he's good,
hands.
yeah.
Oh!
He got very fast hands.
Great
and he
body,
and
too.
he knows how to fight, and he knows how to counter. He's going to give Deontay, well, this is a bad fight for Deontay Wilder.
fight.
Well, quickly-
Andy Ruiz going to give him fits.
I'm going to say this. Boxers themselves say what a good boxer Andy Ruiz is.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he's going to have some early rounds, but I think Wilder knocks him out. Okay, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to have our fantasy fight. When we come back with the boxing authorities. Welcome back to the boxing authorities. Reach from Detroit asked for a fantasy fight, a good one, interesting. Joe Louis, the legend, the icon, against another icon, Mr. Joe Frazier. Not this Smoking Joe Frazier.
The real one.
The real one.
Not a fake one.
Luther,
He
your
stole
thoughts
his name.
on this fight? Very intriguing. Very intriguing. Different styles.
Different styles. Joe Louis, what could we say, man? Brown Bomber, amazing fight. But I love Joe Frazier. He fought in the greatest era of heavyweights, the 70s. I love the 70s. That left hook was amazing. George Foreman, those bigger guys he had trouble with.
Right.
But guys his own size, he would punish them. I think it'd be a great fight, depending on what era, how many rounds. Both of them had heart. I think I'm going to go with Joe Louis on this one. I've seen Joe Frazier hurt a couple times, but that
What a
left hook,
left.
I think he would drop Joe Louis.
What
I
a
think
left.
I think he can drop Joe Louis, but it's a 50-50 fight. You can't go wrong with either guy, but that left hook with
Oh,
Joe
look at
Frazier,
that.
Look at him pull him out.
Look at that. You don't
But he
see
would
that
slip
anymore.
and throw that left
Ooh.
hook. Man, you don't
Jeez.
see guys like that, man. And Jim tries to talk about Ryan Garcia throwing that left hook.
No.
This is the left hook
That's right.
that you got to worry about. But, yeah, I think I'm going to go with Joe Louis.
Smoking?
Well, first of all, Ain't no way Joe Louis gonna lose to a guy who's the son of a one-armed moonshine runner that was blind in one eye and couldn't see out the other. Listen, Joe Frazier was blind in one eye. Couldn't see out the other. Joe Louis was the
Couldn't
most
see out the other, so he's
perfect
legally
fighter.
blind? What?
Joe Louis was the most perfect fighter ever. I love Joe Frazier. Joe Louis had 23 fights in one year. He fought in everybody's hometown. That's how he got to be popular. First black heavyweight champion they allowed to fight for the title in 30 years. And he beat Hitler's guy, Max Melling. And he beat Mussolini's guy in Primo, 6'7", 270-pound former champion. So. Yeah, he beats Joe Frazier.
Jim throws a little history in there, boy.
Yeah, I love
All right.
At least it wasn't fake news this time.
Here's what I say about that. What do they say in boxing? Styles make fights. Now, Marciano, when he fought Lewis and Frazier Marciano were similar.
How old was Joe Louis?
We're watching
Lewis
too
was
much coming
50.
to me. He
Lewis
won
was
11
50
fights in a
something
row.
years
That
old.
was okay.
Joe
He fought
Louis
against
was older
Bob
than Ortiz.
Satterfield.
Joe Louis was older than
All right.
Ortiz when he fought.
Now,
come on, man.
Rocky said, and obviously he loved Joe Louis. He said if it was Joe Louis's prime, it'd have been easier for me because Louis would come in, Rocky would have caught him. Now, Joe Frazier, it was similar to Rocky. Okay. Now, if Louis comes in, I think, and I love Joe Louis. I think Frazier catches him. Joe Louis was a great fighter, mechanically, technically had a good chin, the whole 9 yards. But I think he comes in. We're always talking primes. Ooh. I think he comes in on Joe Frazier, and I think Joe Frazier catches him.
Joe Louis was a credit to his race.
But again, I repeat, now what they say about, what Luther said about the bigger fighters, I think we had Frazier Cooney for a fantasy fight. Right. Frazier Cooney, big man. Foreman, big man. He had trouble with the big guys. That's fine. Ken Norton had trouble with the big guys who went forward. That's fine. And I think Joe Louis would have beaten anybody, but the guys who were big sluggers who he would come in against, although against Tony Galento was nowhere near Frazier or Marciano, and he did catch him. Now, Joe cut the hell out of him, but I think Frazier and Marciano, obviously Marciano, I think Frazier would have caught him and gotten that fight. Okay, when we come back, our popular segment, the Boxing Mailbag. When we come back to Boxing Authorities. Welcome back to the Boxing Authorities, our popular segment, Boxing Mailbag. Please continue to send your great comments and questions to boxingmailbag@yahoo.com. You are a huge part of the show, or send them on my site, claudiorosano.com. I got the glasses on, ready to go. All right. Okay. This is Sam, Youngstown, Claudio. I read that. I forgot to check it off. Okay, all three. Daniel. This is from Farringdon, London. They watched our interview with John Cameron, the Marciano biographer. We got a lot of nice emails from London, a lot of new fans, so thank you. All three. Daniel from Farringdon, London. Thoughts on Rocky's opponents while he was champion?
You said Rocky?
Yeah, Marciano.
Oh, yeah, man. Listen, what can we say about Rocky? You know, he's one of my favorites, even though Claudio doesn't think so. I thought he fought all the best. He's just one of my favorites. I think all his competitors. I mean, you look at his resume. Ezra Charles, Joe Louis. I mean, what can you say? One of the greatest of all time.
Smoking?
You know, my all-time favorite fighter is Rocky. But again, we
like
got to say Rocky never fought Floyd Patterson. Rocky got out of there before Sonny.
And I proved that wrong. I proved that wrong about Sonny, and he'd have demolished Floyd. Okay, Jim, again, from Camden Borough, London. Jim, why are you not a fan of Lennox Lewis? I feel he's one of the few champions that could have won in any era, and that's an excellent point.
I agree with him.
John from Camden.
I agree with that he could have won in any era, and he could have got knocked out cold in any era.
Yeah, but he had the size and the ability.
He got knocked out cold twice.
And he fought how many
And
times?
you beat him when he cut.
And he came back and destroyed
with guys
him.
who will never see the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying he wasn't
It's
a good
heavyweight
fighter.
boxing,
I'm
Jim.
saying he had glass in his chin.
Well, why do you only?
He had glass in his
so only
chin.
2 people called him his whole career.
Well, how many people
Did he
caught
fight
Rocky?
Klitschko?
How many people caught Cassius Clay or Cassius X?
Now, this is for Luther, and I know he's going to say this is for Luther. Johnny from Wennington, London. What will happen first, Luther? Spence Crawford or Shakur Haney? You got him at the wrong time.
Shakur Haney's going to happen first.
You got him at the wrong time.
I don't think that Spence's Crawford's going to fight because Crawford doesn't want it. It's not happening.
What do you think? Even though it's for Luther.
Spence will never fight Crawford.
Who walked away from the negotiation table?
Spence.
Bud. Bud,
Hey, Claudio.
Duckford,
Spence.
Duckford,
Spence walked away.
Duckford.
All right, one more. All three. Terry from Hackney Borough, London. Female boxing is gaining traction. Do you three think it'll be better and bigger than celebrity boxing?
Better than celebrity? No, I don't think it'll get there. Celebrity boxing just brings another audience, but women's boxing is on the rise. It's getting better and better, selling out Madison Square Garden, the O2 Arena. It's coming. And boxers better start fighting the best before women's boxing takes it over.
Right. Jim, do you think it'll take over, be better than celebrity boxing?
Well, I think they're in training for the WWE. That's their future.
That's right.
That's their future.
I don't think it'll be better financially than celebrity boxing, but I think it'll be better technically for the boxing fans' eyes. So, as always, thank you so much for your comments and questions, for tuning into the Boxing Authorities. We hope you enjoy our show as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Talk to you guys soon.